Hello everybody. In this video, we will be looking at two matches I was playing in ranked today. In both matches I play as Hermit. But first, let's focus on this match. So this match is a match in hospital, as you can see. I chased Cowboy and I originally wanted to bring excitement to prevent him from lassoing anyone that I was ballooning. But I ended up having to chase after him because I did not want to chase journalists because I've had plenty of bad experiences chasing journalists in the past. So that's why I went after him instead. But as you were about to see, that was a grave mistake. Because I can't swing at him, I can't hit him. I did manage to get a polarity. I managed to get a polarity hit on him. But one huge mistake I made was that I brought trump card because I brought excitement, but as you're about to see, that is probably the worst mistake I made in this match. Because the Cowboy, he kept looping this window over and over again, which is the main reason that this team won. It was all because of this window. Because he would not stop looping around it. And yeah, that's you probably already know what's gonna happen. It's because I think I only got to chair him twice throughout the entire match. I had to wait for Sears Owl to end. Here though, I did get a lucky hit on him after the owl ended, because I knew exactly when the owl would end. But unfortunately, that's not enough. Because somehow the lasso he somehow managed to use the lasso to cancel the stun. I'm not really sure how he did that, because I've literally never seen a Cowboy do that before. There was one time where I played against the third Antiquarian, and she flywheeled my thing, which I knew that was possible, and I also know that Professor can basically do the same thing with his scales, but I had no idea a Cowboy can do that as well. But here, that somehow doesn't happen a second time, which is even more confusing to me. But here, they already have 3 ciphers done, so, and I already know I'm going to lose. At this point, I already know I'm going to lose. There's just nothing I can do. And I reconnect the ciphers one last time. Journalist ends up coming in. Seer ends up transitioning to his next cipher. Right now, she's just waiting. Here she uses her rescue doofy, and unfortunately I make the mistake of not putting the blue polarity on the chair like I should have to delay her from rescuing. And then the rest of this match is just me getting power stunned by either the Cowboy or the journalist, and the journalist constantly blocking off pathways for me to go to the Cowboy, as you'll see in a minute. Because they only have 1 cipher left, so she can just do that regardless. There's no risk in her doing it. And the spread damage wouldn't be enough anyway. Because here, this is where she starts doing it. Thankfully, Hermit is skinny enough to prevent her from doing that, sort of. Journalist does try to go for a cheeky body block there, but unfortunately she doesn't get it. Even if she did get it, it wouldn't have mattered because they still would have won regardless. But here she tries to do it again. She tries to pull the pallet on me. And I just barely miss him there. Just barely. And I do end up baiting the doofy to pull the pallet down, but it was pointless because she just blocks off that pathway. So it was pointless destroying the pallet regardless. And then that misses him. And then here he gets another pallet stun on me after trying to swing at him like a doofus. And then he ends up transitioning to the next pallet. And then journalist gets a pallet stun on me because I didn't even realize she was still here. Here I finally managed to get him down a second time, but they have the cipher primed. And I did know that, but I knew there was just nothing I could do at this point. Because there's no way to really cancel a Hermit's attack recovery. Unless you're playing an Enchantress, but I do get pallet stunned there one more time. Seer already has the gate open. And at this point, I just want to kill the cowboy. I don't really care about anything else. I don't get the terror shock on him because I was like just a little too far away. And I do end up killing him, but I still lose. Because both gates are already open. I can't do anything. It's just impossible. And after this match, I was feeling a little frustrated because of the loss. I did have a few losses before this. Because there was one loss where I was playing Dentist and then Merc was just looping the same window in Lakeside Village the whole time. And what's funny about that is a friend of mine, right after that match, he said to me, "I hate Lakeside Village," and I wasn't really sure if he saw what match I was playing, or if he played a match in Lakeside Village himself. I don't really know, but it seemed funny to me regardless. And this is what my past record looks like after that match, because as you can see, the match I just showed you guys is at the very bottom. After that, I ended up getting 3 draws, most of them as Hermit, and 2 wins, both as Hermit as well. But the last match I played in Ranked today, the very top one, that's the one I want to show you guys, because there, I get my revenge. Here, as you can see, I'm going against not just the same cowboy, the entire team from that hospital match. I'm going against the exact same team from that hospital match, and they're all wearing the exact same skins too. But this time it's on Red Church, which is a much, much better map for Hermit, so here I have an advantage. Here I tried to see if Seer was there, and then here I see him. I managed to get a blue polarity hit on him, but I didn't even need it, honestly, because I do end up getting a very, very early hit on him here. Because his owl wasn't back yet, so he couldn't use it on himself. Here he pulls on a pallet. He tries to play a little mind game with me. I do end up getting the blue polarity on him again. And here he's just pallet spamming me, just pulling down pallets desperately. And because of this pallet, I couldn't get the other red polarity hit on him in time. So he does end up being able to kite longer, also because of this owl. And unlike the last match where I was lucky to hit the cowboy just after the owl ended, I didn't get to do that this match, but it doesn't really matter because I ended up getting a hit on him here anyway. And it was kind of annoying to me that I didn't really get to fully down him here, but it doesn't really matter because I can put him on red, so that means I get to damage the other 2 as well, because unfortunately I didn't get to connect Journalist Cipher on the connections, which happens a lot in ranked matches. I just end up not connecting one of the ciphers on accident. Here I do get him down because I was quick enough to do the stun in time. I mean, I realized it was pointless to connect Journalist Cipher because it had already been done. And I know that because she's the only one without any polarity on her, I know that she's the one coming. And because Far Lady has a different polarity with Cowboy. So there's no reason for either of them to come. And Journalist is the rescuer of the group, so why wouldn't she come for the rescue? And as you can see, she's approaching. She tries to trick me with a pallet doofy. I'm not really sure why she did that. And because she has no polarity on her, I just hit her. And here I get a double down. I hit her. They have Tide Turner, but it doesn't really matter. I almost managed to get to him, but he was too far away. He doesn't have another owl, though, but I'm pretty sure... I don't remember exactly what happens over in this part, but I'm pretty sure he does last a little longer. Oh, yeah. I wasn't quick enough to switch the polarity in time, so I ended up just using blue again, but surprisingly, that didn't even really matter. I put it on red because I know that he's dead either way, and I can get some spread damage off. Well, so I thought. And that pallet stun, where I stun them just as they pull down the pallet, that happens a lot in ranked matches. Here I do end up getting a hit on him. They get another cipher done. So then I chair in Graveyard. Cowboy tries to lasso but fails because I managed to chair the Seer just in time. And then he's the one who's going to rescue next because Journalist can't rescue right now unless the Cowboy quickly gets on a Cypher for the polarity, shared polarity. Here I do get a polarity on him. I just hit him to like get spread damage, because I realized with like the amount of Cyphers that are left, there's not really any point in playing mind games. I wanted to go for another double down here, but I realized that Seer would get a lot of distance if I did, and I probably wouldn't be able to find him afterwards, so I just decided to go after him. And I realized I could just probably down the cowboy. Here I do get another hit on him, but it's shared damage again. The cowboy ends up assisting the Seer for a bit, because the Seer does try to use his owl here, but then the cowboy lassos him up. He puts him down right here, and then I'm pretty sure here I hit the cowboy, which I down journalist because of the shared damage, and then here in a little bit I down Seer because all my polarity abilities are ready. So here he's dead, and I did try to go after cowboy, but I couldn't hit him because of the lasso. I probably could have swung a little earlier, but I'm always really unsure about Hermit's hitbox because sometimes it likes to work against me. But here I take the risk. I try to balloon him. I'm surprised cowboy didn't just lasso right there or there. And here I was like really tense, but thankfully he misses it again. And now one of them's dead. And now I'm going after cowboy again. He managed to get another really good lasso on me. He manages to juke me a lot, and unfortunately he can't really do anything there. And now I do realize where the last cipher is, because I do look around at the ciphers and I realize that one of them, like Farley, is taking a progress from, so I realized that there's only one place they could be decoding. And when I saw the journalist, that just proved it. Because if she was over there, then so was Farlady, because there was no reason Farlady would be somewhere else. Here I do miss a stun on the journalist, and surprisingly it doesn't really matter. I do get some spread damage on the Farlady, which is kind of unintentional. I overshot that attachment. She uses her rescue doofy here. And this time, I learned from my mistakes in the last match where I didn't put the polarity on the chair when she was on red. And because I learned from my mistakes, Farlady can't prime the cipher. And then, here in a minute, right here, he dies. He's dead. I finally got my revenge. And then journalist goes back to heal Farlady, and at first I thought Farlady had used her self-heal, which is why at the end I end up chairing journalist first. I end up teleporting to the cipher, but because I was a little hesitant, they do end up getting the heal down in time, and they do get the cipher primed, because they're both there. But thankfully I do manage to down the Farlady just as she primes the cipher, so then I'm able to go down after journalist. And here she does do a pretty good doofy placement, but I do end up seeing her. Unfortunately, I overshoot that as well, so then I end up going to the other side of the wall. Then I connect the gates just in case they end up, because I thought they would be able to make the gates as well. Here I chair journalist, and Farlady self-heals right as I do it. But since I know where she's at, she can't really do anything. And because I'm playing Hermit, I can easily anticipate where Farlady is because my polarity stuns have a lot of range. I do realize that's the fake trail that she can use. Here I get blue polarity on her, then red, just as her cloak ends. And then that's it. I got the 4 kill. I exacted my revenge on the cowboy and his entire team. One thing that surprises me is that I went against the same team as the same character, and we all wore the same skins as well. So I feel like this was the perfect revenge, to be honest. And I'm really glad that was my last ranked match of the day because it was a very fulfilling one. And those 2 matches prove that Ruins needs to be completely redesigned, completely redone, because it's the most survivor-sided thing in the game, and I really hope they revamp it because I hate Hospital mainly because of Ruins. I just hate it. I absolutely hate Ruins. I really want them to revamp it like a little bit to make it less Survivor sided because it is just very annoying. Because even when I play Survivor, I'm able to do like effortless kites there. The only time I ever get really down there at all is when I'm playing against a Geisha because she's the only one who can really thrive in that area, maybe besides a Hullblue, but even then, Hullblue is very difficult to play as. Most people can't really play him, I can't really play him either. But, yeah. Well, that's the video for today. Goodbye, I hope you enjoyed it.